YouTube family. I haven't got much done today. I've just been kind of hanging out. It's almost 4. Not really hanging out. I mean, I think I spent like the last week, it seems like I've been doing nothing but work, recording the work, editing the work, uploading the work, feeding myself, taking care of myself, what's mandatory for life, trying to put up videos every day or as much as possible, trying to get the revenue up, man, so I can survive out here in the woods. I was on my way to Food Lion today to upload a video. Actually, I went to Dollar General. I didn't go to Food Lion today. I rode to Dollar General. I noticed a few days ago I was at Dollar General, this one Dollar General, and my video uploaded, like, the Wi-Fi is 100. So that's like one of my new favorite spots to upload. It happened like by the time I went in, got me some wine, came back out, and it was uploaded and processing already. I was like, wow, that's awesome. I think it was yesterday, actually, when I rode the Food Lion, and I was just thinking about stuff, and I was thinking about, you know, my grandpa's chainsaw thing that I talked about yesterday and uploaded today. And then I got to thinking about other kind of deep stuff, you know. And what got me there is a lot of my YouTube family. I know my YouTube family cares a lot. They hate, you guys hate seeing me out here without my son and what I'm going through with that, and kind of just, I guess a lot of you just wonder why I'm not putting up the fight. It's funny, I guess, maybe not really, to share a testimony and drink some wine and be a sinner and still talk about the Most High and wisdom and all this stuff. The way I see it is being smart and being wise is two different things, kind of like illegal and lawful. Two whole different things. If you've never actually really went in depth down the rabbit hole with legal, you should look up the definition of legal lease. I mean, encyclopedias have it in there, dictionaries, the law dictionaries, all that stuff. I'm not an attorney or nothing like that. I'm just, if you believe in fighting, in the American way of fighting, you should really research legalese. That's all I'm gonna say. I have a couple Bible stuff. This is online. This isn't me actually reading the Bible. This is just a short version of a bunch of different Bible verses, because you can simply Google anything, any word, like Bible verses do not fight. That's what I looked up. The Bible includes various verses about not fighting. Key passages include Proverbs 20-3, whatever, which states, avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. which is faith. Only fools insist on quarreling. And Matthew 5:39, where Jesus advises, do not resist the one who is evil. Other verses like 2 Chronicles 20-17 instruct believers to stand firm, hold your position, and see the salvation of the Lord instead of fighting. And Exodus 14:14 says, the Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent. Proverbs 20-3, avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. Only fools insist on quarreling. Matthew 5:39, Jesus instructs, do not resist the one who is evil, but if only slaps you on the right cheek, turn him the other also. 2 Timothy 2-24, the Lord's servant must not quarrel. Instead, he must be kind to everyone, able to reach, not resentful. Ephesians 6:12, for we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against cosmic powers over this present darkness, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. I've known or seen or whatever a lot of people that are very good at memorizing these verses, the numbers, everything, which is very, very smart to memorize it. That's a great thing to memorize the Bible. But I've known these people to not, they memorize it, but they don't understand it. They don't have the wisdom enough to have faith and live it. What's the point in memorizing a bunch of verses and the numbers and all of this if you don't live it? Seems like today this is about all I'm going to get done. Sharpening my chainsaw. I have not been motivated to really do a whole lot today. About how I do this. I pretty much count the first tooth, how many strokes it takes to sharpen it. That was 10, so I'm about to do 10 on pretty much all of these. A lot of comments I'm getting from friends and YouTube family members and everything is how much I need to fight for my son and do all of this. If you would research the legal system and all of that, legalese, I believe after researching all that and going down a rabbit hole for a very, very long time, I mean, the whole time I was trucking, for 20 years I was doing nothing but listening to videos about law, legal, health, all this stuff, and thank the Most High for all of that time to be able to watch all of these videos and to learn about all of this stuff. And I've even watched a whole lot of stuff that even made me buy certain books, law books and all kinds of stuff because of these videos. And of course I wanted to actually read it for myself and make sure that it was real. After all of that research and all of this stuff and the stuff that I know now, I feel like doing the legal thing, I feel like, is actually going against the Most High and the opposite of having faith and living your life by faith and feeling like you need to fight and you have to save someone. From my experience in life, it doesn't matter how much you fight, you're not gonna save anyone. You don't have the power. You're not saving anyone by fighting. You're actually doing the opposite. You're just harming yourself. You know, just like the Bible verses say, you're just harming yourself. And you're trying to be God. You're trying to play God and do things that you're supposed to be leaving up to Him. When I was taken to court, I went in there. I didn't prepare for it. I didn't fight at all. I literally walked in there, let what happened happen. I allowed the judge and all these people in there that are complete strangers to me, I allowed them to do what they decided to do under their own consequences and their later judgment. The same with the person that took me to court. I allowed her to go in there and do what she did to me. I just allowed it. I turned the other cheek and I allowed it for further judgment and consequences. Through my life, I've learned a whole lot of lessons about things that I've done and fights that I've been in and the people that I've harmed. And I'm going to face my own consequences and judgment for that. Feeling like I need to fight. Feeling like I need to harm someone back or whatever. Multitasking, boy. I'm trying to get this thing sharp. At least for tomorrow. You counting? I'm going to share something with you that I have never told anyone, the only witnesses of this, or anyone that even knows about this, and hell, even they've probably even forgotten about it, was back when Elion was a toddler. I had this little old-timer knife, kind of had this long little blade on it. I mean, it wasn't long, it was only, maybe 3 inches at the most. It had a really sharp point, like you had the blade that came out, then the top had a curve. It was super pointy, like you could barely touch yourself with it and it would stab your skin. And if I remember right, I think I was using it for packing. I think I was packing up some stuff. His mom was over here. He was right here, right next to me, wild and energetic and moving all over the place, couldn't sit still. And I have this freaking sharp knife freaking open. I'm cutting tape, and I think I was packing stuff back when we were dumpster diving and selling stuff, and I was always freaking packing stuff and shipping it. And this is just the most, I want to be careful with my words, sorta. One of the scariest, frightening, just stomach turning times of my life, and turns into the craziest, wildest miracle I've ever witnessed in my life, right? I have this knife just open, I'm holding it, cutting tape. Elion, wow, I'm an idiot. Wow, I was an idiot for having an open knife around this wild child bouncing around, but I didn't think anything crazy was gonna happen. But anyway, I wasn't paying attention really. I was like doing something, and Elion jumped. I looked over. This is so hard for me to say. When I think about it, it still hurts my stomach today. This knife went in his eye. It went in his eye. I thought life was over. I thought it was over. The Most High knows I would have never been able to forgive myself. He saved me and Elion's life in just a split, less than a second. He saved my life. This knife went in Elion's eye, and I freaked out. I'm like, oh my God. I grab his face and I'm like looking at him. Oh my God, are you okay? And there was nothing wrong with him. There was nothing wrong with him. And, this is how powerful the Most High is. I mean, He can save you. He can allow whatever to happen to you. He is in control. What the Bible says, I understand that a lot of people that argue with the Bible, they're just like, it's been changed, it's been tampered with by man and this and that. And I understand that, yes. But that's also what the Most High allows to happen. There's a whole lot of the Bible that He doesn't allow to be tampered with. Books that have been taken out of the Bible that you're supposed to read, He allowed it to be removed, but they're still in existence. You could still read them. There's a bunch of them. like my favorite, the Book of Enoch. They're out there. They've been removed for a reason. He allowed it to happen, but they're still accessible. Even when you read the Book of Enoch, it tells you when you read it, it lands in your hands for a reason. I think about this so much with me and Eliana. I've thought about it a million times. How impossible, you know. But with the Most High, anything is possible. So you just have to have faith, and you have to live the Bible. You don't remember all these verses and read all of this and then do the opposite. You know, it tells you to have faith, not fight. Don't fight my battles. I'm gonna take care of you. He's not necessarily gonna be able to take care of you if you're going and using legal lease, which is kind of the opposite, you know. I've experienced a lot of my fights in life backfiring on me. You know, literal fist fights backfiring on me. Literal vocalizing things, sticking up for myself backfiring on me, and having serious regrets of things that I said, because you know, you deal with a lot of people in life that don't necessarily have this conscience that they think about every single things they do in life. And I mean, even from childhood, I think about things that I did to people and hurt them, and I still think of it to this day and have these regrets, and they more than likely do not remember any of it. They've moved on. They don't think about it. They're not even hurt by it. But it's your conscience and your heart and your belief that makes you feel bad. You know, a lot of people, they do things to you and they don't feel bad at all. They done moved on and they're doing it to someone else. And you're left with the good heart. And you're thinking about all this stuff that happened all the time. And you have them living in your head, literally, almost taking over your life because you're thinking about it so much, and just your regret of doing harm to people when really they are the ones that harmed you first, and what you did was just a reaction. So that's one thing, a part of my wisdom is to better myself and control my reactions and control what I can control about myself. And that's kind of, I think, what forgiveness is. It's not, forgiveness to me isn't allowing someone to come back in your life and screw it up and turn it into a tornado again. It's just being real careful of how you respond and your reaction and how you're hurting someone. Because a lot of people, they don't remember hurting you. They don't think about hurting you. Their conscience could care less about hurting you. They hold on to your reaction of what they did, and they forget what they did, and they only remember and tell everyone else about what you did when they started it. You know what I mean? I 100% witnessed this miracle of the Most High, guardian angels, whatever you want to call it. I try to be so careful about just saying things that everyone else says, using names like God, Jesus. I try to really go by my research, like Yahuwah's God, Yahusha's Jesus. I've heard bad things about saying Holy Spirit, that, you know, I just try to stick with certain things that I've researched, like their true names, and I just call him the Most High, because he is definitely the Most High of all. You know, I feel like God is the God of this world, that's on your money. I will never, ever, ever forget. And it actually helps me a whole lot in life, is that just slight mistake of just holding this knife in my hand and having Elion just jump towards it, and wow, he saved my life. If he would have allowed that to happen, I don't think I would be here anymore. I really don't think I could have lived with that. That is something that I think I could have never lived with, and I think the Most High knew that, and he protected me and Elion, and I know Elion is here for a reason, and so am I. For however long. I'm here. I know I'm here for a reason, if nothing more than just sharing my testimony with everyone that I can. I remember, you know, when my daughter's mom and I broke up, I fought to have my daughter so much. I didn't necessarily fight her mom. We didn't really do like a legal thing or anything like that. I mean, she took me to court for child support, and I paid it for a long freaking time. 18 years. I think I was paying her $300 a month for probably 18 years. But I didn't really fight her to have my daughter. It was really the opposite. She was always trying to go out. Thankfully for me, she was always trying to go out. We were both young. She was always trying to go out, hang out with friends. So she was always pushing my daughter on me. So much to where I would have to turn her down on some weekends. Like, man, I can't have her every single weekend and week of my life. I got to do stuff too. But not talking down on her mom or anything. I mean, it is what it is. But I was having her at least every other weekend. There was times I was having her every other week, really trying to do shared custody. And more than anything, I just wanted my daughter to know that I loved her and that I just really tried to be in her life, and I wanted her to know me. The same thing with Elion. With her, I was always taking her camping on the weekends and taking her fishing and just trying to get her into the outdoors type of thing, because I believe that is the best thing for children, for sure, in life, is nature, wilderness, fishing, camping, survival, just nature in general. Away from the city, away from the craziness, just out in peace that the Most High obviously gave us everywhere in the whole world before it was all bulldozed and turned into shopping centers, corporations, and parking lots. So back then, I either had construction experience, working on houses, roofing, whatever. I was doing commercial pipe construction, just all kinds of different stuff, and I could never seem to keep a job. I don't know, it seems like in my life, I've always been against the grain, a rebel if you could call it, and it seems like I've always been lined up with someone that didn't like me, really wanted to test my patience and give me a hard time at any job I ever had. I ended up quitting. I just never got along with anyone, and it was very odd to me my whole life, because I've always been this very easygoing, cool, happy, nonchalant type of person. And people freaking just hated that about me. So finally, I think I broke my foot. And ended up not being able to go to work because I broke my foot. So my next best idea was to go get my CDL. I was like, man, if I could get my CDL and go out there and just live in a truck and work and whatever. So that's what I did. I went and got my CDL, started trucking. Even all of that worked against me. It was super hard. I ended up driving a dump truck, working my way up to being able to drive a rig, 18-wheeler. First my age, then you got experience. I had a horribly bad driving record, but finally I worked my way up to where I could get in a rig and do what I wanted. So I hit the road, and all of that work that I did to be in my daughter's life just kind of, I hope she has those memories. I feel like she doesn't. I feel like she doesn't know how hard I fought to be in her life and to be a part of her life. And then I went trucking, and I just started thinking about myself. I hit the road. I was gone. I pretty much lost all of my friends. I just gave it all up and just went trucking. Started making money, doing my thing, traveling all over America in a rig. And now, you know, after all of that fight, she's not in my life anyway, you know. I think she's in her mom's life. I think she lives with her mom now. She had her own place for a long time. I'm very proud of her. She's a very hard worker. I love her to death. I text her here and there. She texts me back. I mean, we're okay. She's just a busy girl. I've seen her work 2 or 3 jobs, I think, at the same time, going to the gym. She's got a boyfriend. Just too busy for me. My point is, after all of that, is just you could fight and fight and fight, and it's just going to turn out how it's meant to be anyway. No matter how hard you fight, I've seen people go to court and spend just their whole life savings, sell their house, go through all of this to go through the legal system and just lose and lose and lose because it's just not just. It's not supported by the Most High. So if you take that route and you decide to fight on your own, more than likely, you're not going to be backed up by Him, because He tells you in these verses, don't try to be me. Don't try to fight. You just be kind. Think about yourself. Better yourself. Don't victimize anyone. Don't attack anyone. You don't have to fight back. You don't have to get revenge. It's gonna work out for the good or bad. It's up to Him whether He allows the worst to happen to you or He creates the best for you, and what's meant to be is gonna be. No matter what you do or what you don't do, you just have to better yourself. You have to live mentally positive. You know, not only are you going to spend all this time and money fighting, you're going to lose sleep at night. You're carrying this in your head the whole time for months and months and months, you know. Years, possibly even years, you could be thinking about this and carrying it in your head when really you could just be happy and doing what makes you happy and just forgiving and letting go of what someone did to harm you, and just allow the Most High to judge and to do His thing and take control of things. And you never know, He'll either land them back in your lap, or he's gonna work in His mysterious ways, and He's gonna make it right, even if you feel like it didn't work out the right way. The world is huge. You're like a speck of nothing compared to how many people are in the world. You know, if you put all the people in the world in a picture and you're standing there in the middle of it, you're a speck of nothing. But the awesome thing is God knows literally exactly how many hairs are on your head. That's how amazing and powerful He is compared to all of the chaos in the whole world. You're just a little speck in the middle of just this whole huge thing that you don't understand and you can't control. Only He knows the reason for all of it. It's very insane. So, for all the people that are telling me what I need to do and what I should do and that I need to fight, I need to get an attorney and do all this stuff, I appreciate you caring, but I just don't need you to tell me what I need to do, because the possibilities are that I have a total different outlook than you. You know, if you want to spend your time fighting and chaos and trying to get revenge and going after people and everything, I have a feeling that it's going to make you unhappy, and it's going to have reverse results of what you think is going to have, because you just can't play God. You can't control anything. You're a speck. You're just a little speck in, you know, I try not to use the word universe because I don't believe in the universe. I don't believe in outer space. I believe exactly what Genesis says. And if you don't understand that, you should really go down a rabbit hole on that too, and really maybe look up flat earth. I call it biblical earth myself. I really don't like the term flat earth because it ain't flat. But one thing I can promise you is a fact of the definition of water level all the way across the world. It is what it says it is. It's the definition of it. It's level. Water level. There ain't no definition of land level. You know, I believe it's a huge plane, like airplane, that flies over. There are so many pilots coming out telling you they ain't curving their plane. It flies freaking straight and level. If you look up, it's actually the top of the clouds. If you watch any videos at the top of the clouds, it's exactly like the water. The top of the clouds, they only go up to a certain point, and it's perfectly level, just like the water is. I love you guys. I thought I'd share that testimony of the most bizarre, crazy, insane, wonderful, life-saving miracle that's ever happened to me. And I have others that I could share. And that's just why I am who I am. It has a lot to do with the reason that I'm just out here doing my thing like I am, just winging it. There's different ways I look at it. Like, I could have got myself stuck in this situation, which sort of I did, from almost trying to punish someone else for their actions towards me. And then they escaped and I'm still here. But at the same time, I enjoy it. It's a lot of mixed feelings and craziness and just, I mean, more testimonies I could talk about for days. And maybe I will sometime. I don't know. I'm just not out to prove a point. I'm just here doing my thing and making the best of what I got, and just really becoming so much more wiser than I ever have been in my whole life. through the last year. I have learned more in this last year than I think I ever have in my whole freaking life by what's happened to me and my actions, and just wow, I've just unbelievably learned so much for just a guy out in the woods playing with chainsaws, man. So I love y'all. I hope you enjoyed my little testimony of my thoughts, and I hope it helps you, and I hope you can relax a little bit, and whatever you're going through, just have faith and know that most of what you're going through, either you got yourself into it or you're being humbled and disciplined, and you're being taught some lessons that you're supposed to look deeper into, rather than like you're being punished, you know. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. But I'm gonna sharpen up this chainsaw. I don't think I'm doing much today. I think this is about my only job for the day. I think I might fix me another salad like I did in my last video, and I don't know, just hang out, watch some videos. I'm definitely gonna get this thing sharpened up for tomorrow. I think tomorrow, after having a day off like this, I think I'm gonna be gung-ho. And while I'm running these chainsaws, this is the type of stuff that I'm thinking about all the time. While I'm out here making videos, you see me just working and ripping stuff up and hooking up the shelter and clearing land. This is the type of stuff I think about all the time. They say, don't judge a book by its cover. For sure. I can tell which side hit the rock yesterday. This side of them looks a little worse. Definitely, yep. Definitely this side hit the rock for some reason, like they're stood up taller. Oh, so maybe when I filed the rakers, these sides are a different angle because I filed all the rakers from this side. So it made each side different. So I think like sharpening the teeth, you kind of have to do the rakers also from different angles to make them the same. Still learning, man. Still learning stuff with chainsaws. Yeah. good. I don't think I got that one. Oh, shit, we ain't even close yet. Sometimes I put a mark when I stop and I'm not really thinking, just so I know where I was. Made me think I was at the end. Dang, still got a ways to go. Fuck. Ah! That's horrible when that happens. Might as well start over. Oh man, again. Woo, buddy! go. We got them all done. I think I need to go on this side and hit these rakers this way. I think yesterday I did these sides really good on these. But then on the round part, I was coming this way on the round off when I need to come this way and hit it from this lip. Because I did notice when I was going this way, it was eating in. And then when I was on this one, it was real smooth and not really eating in. So these are higher than these. And that's why these teeth on this side pointing this way hit the rock, and then these ones, every other, did not hit the rock. So still learning, man. Still learning. I'm gonna take a break and do these rakers too, I think. Make this thing hungry.